Hi kids, so this video is for class 9 student and we will solve chapter test from midpoint theorem M L Aggarwal. We have already solved the exercise. You can see the link in the description box. So let's get started. Sum number 1, chapter test midpoint theorem, class 9. ABCD is a rhombus with P, Q and R as midpoints of AB, BC and CD respectively. Prove that PQ is perpendicular to QR. First of all, we need to draw the proper diagram. Okay, so suppose this is A, B, C, D. That's a rhombus. The midpoint of AB is P, the midpoint of BC is Q, and the midpoint of CD is R. We need to prove that PQ is perpendicular to QR, which means this angle is 90 degree. If we can show that this angle is 90 degree, our work is done. Yes or no? Now let us see. I'll draw the diagonals AD and AC. Now in rhombus ABCD, AC is perpendicular to BD. The diagonals are perpendicular, which means, let me draw this like this only, which simply means that this angle is 90 degree. Yes or no? Now look carefully. P and Q in triangle ABC. Look carefully. In this triangle, P and Q are midpoints of AB and AC respectively, which means by midpoint theorem PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is half of AC. That is my midpoint theorem. Yes or no? So we got that this PQ is parallel to AC. Similarly, if you look at triangle BCD, in triangle, same concept, in triangle BCD. Now, Q and R are midpoints of BC and CD. Yes or no? Which simply means QR is parallel to BD and QR is half of BD. That is your midpoint theorem. Now look carefully. This is parallel to this. Yes or no? And these two are perpendicular lines, the diagonals. So if this is 90, suppose this angle is x, then x plus 90 will be equal to 180 because these two are parallel. This is a transversal. These two angles add to give 180. These two are parallel. These two angles, a co-interior angle, they add to give 180. So this is parallel to this. So this angle plus this angle will give you 180 co-interior. Can I write x plus, this is O suppose, BOC, angle BOC is equal to 180 co-interior? Yes or no? Which means x plus 90 equals to 180, which means x equals to 90 degree. So this is 90 degree. Over here we got 90 degree. Now look, this and this are parallel. Try to understand. BD is parallel to QR. BD is parallel to QR, which means, and PQ is the transversal, which means this angle again and this angle, suppose Y, they will add to give 180. Co-interior, same logic. These two are parallel, this is a transversal. So these two angles which are inside, they add to give 180 co-interior. So can I write x plus y is 180, that's co-interior, which means x is 90 plus y equals to 180. So y equals to 90 degree, which means angle PQR equals to 90 degree. If this angle is 90 degree, then we conclude that PQ is perpendicular to QR. Done? Very easy. Again, look over here. This line is parallel to this line. So if this is 90, this will be 90. QR is parallel to BD. So if this is 90, this will be 90. Co-interior, they had to give 180. Done. Chalo, we'll do number 2. Look at number 2. The diagonals of a quadrilateral ABCD are perpendicular. Show that the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of its adjacent side is a rectangle. Just like the previous one. Suppose I draw a quadrilateral. Okay, this is my quadrilateral A, B, C, D with diagonal BD and AC which are perpendicular. The diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Okay, show that the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of its adjacent side is a rectangle. Suppose the midpoint is P, the midpoint of AB is Q, the midpoint of BC is R, and the midpoint of DC is S. P, Q, R and S are midpoints of AD, AB, BC and DC. Now join them. Okay. Now we need to prove that this is a rectangle. Okay. My first priority is to prove that it's a parallelogram. And then if I can show that one angle is 90 degree, my work is done. Look carefully how I will prove. Now in triangle ADC, P and S are midpoints of AD and DC, which simply means PS is parallel to AC and PS is half of AC by midpoint theorem. Yes or no? Done? So this is parallel to this. Similarly, ABC in triangle ABC, Q and R are midpoints of AB and BC. Yes or no? AB and BC, which simply implies QR is parallel to AC and QR is half of AC. That's your midpoint theorem. Now look, comparing 1 and 2. So this is parallel to AC, which means directly means PS is parallel to QR. Yes or no? And equal also. PS is equal to QR. Yes or no? See, PS is parallel to AC, QR is parallel to AC, which means PS and QR will be parallel. Yes or no? Now, similarly, in triangle DBC, again, S and R are midpoints of DC and BC, which simply means SR is parallel to BD and SR is half of BD. Yes or no? Now look, one more. This is suppose 3. So this is parallel to this. Now, in triangle ABD, similarly I'm writing, we can say that PQ is parallel to BD and PQ is half of BD. Yes or no? Same logic. P and Q are midpoints of AD and AB. So PQ will be parallel to BD as well as half of BD. Yes or no? Now look carefully. 3 and 4. If you compare 3 and 4, it simply means that PQ is parallel to SR and PQ is equal to SR. Yes or no? Now look, from this and this, opposite sides are equal as well as they are parallel, which simply means, suppose this is 5 and this is 6. So from 5 and 6, from 5 and 6, I can conclude that PQRS is a parallelogram. So my first motive is completed, that I prove that PQRS is a parallelogram. Now 90 degree. Just now we proved. Look over here. We need to show that this angle is 90 degree. Any one angle, our work is done. And this is 90. Suppose this is X, this is Y. These two are parallel line. So X plus 90 will be equal to 180 because these two are co-interior angle. Same logic. See, X plus DOC, angle DOC is 180. That's co-interior, which means X is 180 minus 90. So X is 90 degree. Done. Now again, SR is parallel to DB. So this line is a transversal. SP is a transversal. So X plus Y, again, X plus Y is equal to 180. Co-interior, yes or no? So X is 90 plus Y equals to 180, which means Y equals to 90 degree. So in a parallelogram, if one angle is 90 degree, then the parallelogram becomes a rectangle, which simply means parallelogram PQRS is a rectangle. Why? Because one of its angle is 90 degree. Done. Very easy. First of all, prove that PQRS is a parallelogram by midpoint theorem. Once you prove that, then show that this angle is 90 degree. Our work is done. Okay. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at number 3. What they have told. If D, E and F are midpoints of the side BC, CA and AB respectively of a triangle ABC, prove that AD and FE bisect each other. First, draw a triangle. Done? A, B, C. Suppose this is the midpoint, this and this. BC midpoint is D, AC midpoint is E, and AB midpoint is F. We need to prove that if you join this, suppose this is A, then AO and OD are equal, FO and OE are equal. We need to prove that they bisect each other. Now look carefully what I'll do. I'll join FD and DE. Now if I can prove that AFDE is a parallelogram, our work is done, because in a parallelogram the diagonals bisect each other. Now look carefully. Just look. F and D are midpoints. F and D are midpoints of AB and DC. Yes or no? AB and BD and BC. Yes or no? F and D, which simply means FD is parallel to AC and FD is half of AC by midpoint theorem. Now, if FD is parallel to AC, then FD is also parallel to AE. No doubt in that. Done? So, this is parallel to this. Now, look carefully. D and E. Just check it out. D and E are midpoints of BC and AC respectively, which means DE will be half of AB and DE will be parallel to AB. Yes or no? By midpoint theorem, remember? Same logic. So DE is parallel to AB, which means DE is parallel to AF also. Yes or no? So this is parallel to this. Now in quadrilateral AFDE, FD is parallel to AE, already proved, and DE is parallel to AF, which simply means AFDE is a parallelogram. Yes or no? So we proved that it is a parallelogram. Now in parallelogram the diagonal bisect each other, which simply means AD bisects FE. Done? Yes or no? We have to prove that only AD and FE bisect each other. In parallelogram the diagonal bisect each other. Sure, this was clear. Now let us look at number 4. Now look at number 4. In triangle ABC, D and E are midpoints of the side AB and AC respectively. Through E, a straight line is drawn parallel to AB. Okay. To meet BC at F. Let us draw the diagram. Okay. Suppose this is your A, B, C. Look carefully. In triangle ABC, D and E are midpoints of AB. D and E are midpoints of AB and AC. D and E respectively. Through E, a straight line is drawn parallel to AB. Through E, we draw a straight line parallel to AB. They have given this. Okay. To meet BC at F. To meet BC at F. Prove that BDEF is a parallelogram. Prove that BDEF is a parallelogram. The first one. There's something more. If AB is equal to 8 centimeter, BC is equal to 9 centimeter, find the perimeter of BDEF. That parallelogram, we need to find the perimeter. Now look carefully. What they have given, just try to understand. D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC, and AB is parallel to EF, which means DB is parallel to EF. No doubt in that. Now D and E are midpoints of AB and AC, which simply means DE is parallel to BC. Midpoint theorem, DE is parallel to BC and DE is half of BC by midpoint theorem. Now look, in quadrilateral BDEF, opposite sides are parallel to each other, which means it's a parallelogram. BD is parallel to FE and DE is parallel to BF, which simply means that BDEF is a parallelogram. Yes or no? First part is that. Very easy. This and this are midpoint. So this is parallel to this. And this is parallel to this, already given to us. This was given to us. Yes or no? So it's a parallelogram. Now look carefully. Just be careful. First part is done. Part 2. AB is 8. AB is 8 and BC is 9 centimeter. Find the perimeter. First of all, DE is half of BC. DE is half of BC. Yes or no? Which means DE will be 9 by 2 because BC is, D is, wait, D is parallel to, BD parallel to FE and DE parallel to, oh, this was correct only. Now, DE equals to 4.5 centimeter. Done. Now look, D is the midpoint of AB. So this is 4, this is 4. So DB is equal to 4 centimeter. So this is 4, this is 4, this is 4.5 and this is 4.5 because in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal to. So if this is 4.5, this is also 4.5, yes or no? If this is 4, then this is also 4. So the perimeter will be again twice 4.5 plus 4. So that's twice 8.5, that's perimeter is 17 centimeter. Very easy. See, this was parallel to this, already given. These two are midpoints, so this becomes parallel to this. So it's a parallelogram. Done. Opposite sides are equal. This is half of BC, 9 ka half, 4.5. This is the midpoint, so this is 4, this is 4. Then just add it. Done. Very easy. Now let us look at number 5. Now look at number 5. In the adjoining figure, A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. E is the midpoint of AD, so this and this are equal, and DL is parallel to EB, and AB produced at F. Prove that B is the midpoint of AF and EB equals to LF. Very easy. Look carefully. Converse of midpoint theorem. Remember, suppose this is a triangle. E is the midpoint of AB, and suppose EF is parallel to BC. Then what we can conclude? We can conclude that F is the midpoint of AC. Remember, converse of midpoint theorem? Yes or no? If AE equals to EB, E is the midpoint and EF is parallel to BC, then F is also the midpoint of AC. That's converse of midpoint theorem. Same logic. In triangle AFD, look carefully. E is the midpoint of AD and EB is parallel to DF. Why? Because EB is parallel to DL. So it is parallel to DF also. Yes or no? Because EB is parallel to DL. That is given to us. Now, this is the midpoint. These two are parallel, which means by converse of midpoint theorem, we can say that B is the midpoint of AF. That is by converse of midpoint theorem. Done? Now look. Now midpoint theorem. Same triangle. In triangle AFD, E is the midpoint of AD. B is the midpoint of AF, which simply means BE will be half of FD. It is already parallel. By midpoint theorem, what? It will be half, BE will be half of DF and it will be parallel. Done. So, first of all, look over here. We need to show that DL and LF are same. Try to understand. BEDL. Okay, that's a parallelogram. Why? Because BE is parallel to LD and AD is parallel to BC, which means DE will be parallel to LB. Try to understand. See, quadrilateral, I'm talking about BEDL. BEDL. Yes or no? So in quadrilateral BEDL, BE is parallel to DL and DE is parallel to LB, which means BEDL is a parallelogram, no doubt in that. Yes or no? And if it's a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. So BE is equal to LD. Yes or no? Suppose X. x. Suppose, so this is x, this is x. What will be FD? FD will be twice of BE, which is 2x. So FD is 2x, DL is x. So what is FL? FL is 2x minus x, that is x only. See, this and these are equal now. FL is x and BE is also x. So BE equals to LF, which simply implies BE equals to LF. Both are equal to x. Look carefully. Yes or no? Very interesting. BE is equal to half of FD. BE equals to LD. Why? Because this is a parallelogram. Okay? Then if this is x, this will be x because the entire thing is 2x. Done. Chalo. We'll do number 6. Now look at number 6. In the adjoining figure, ABCD is a parallelogram. If P and Q are midpoints of CD and BC respectively, show that CR is 1/4 AC. Very easy. Look over here first. First we need to prove that R is the midpoint of OC. Then our work is done. Look carefully. P and Q are midpoints of DC and BC respectively, which means PQ will be parallel to DB and PQ is half of DB by midpoint theorem. Yes or no? In triangle DBC, look carefully, this will be half of BD and this will be parallel to this. Now look, if PQ is parallel to DB, then can I say that PR is parallel to DO? Same thing, which implies PR is parallel to DO. Now in triangle DOC, just look carefully. P is the midpoint of DC and PR is parallel to DO, which means R is the midpoint of OC, converse of midpoint theorem. Just now I explained, if this is the midpoint and this is parallel to this, then this will be the midpoint. Done. So R is the midpoint of OC. So OR and OC will be same. Suppose X. Suppose. So this is X, this is X. Now in a parallelogram, the diagonal bisect each other. So OR is equal to RC. OR equals to RC. Now what is OC? OC will be X plus X. That is 2x. AO will be also 2x because the diagonal bisect each other. So if this is 2x, this is 2x. Now see, CR by AC. Just find it out. CR is how much? CR is x. AC is how much? 4x. X cancels out. CR equals to, AC goes over there. AC by 4. Proved. Done too. We divided CR by AC. We got x by 4x. Then CR equals to 1/4 of AC. Done. So this was the last sum from the chapter test. In this video, keep it till here. If you like the video, do subscribe and share with your friends.